Let's just start.
That's what you should do. Scott Storch got a diamond eye.
Diamond eye shouted, man.
You don't be thinking.
They ain't never in history say no shit like this.
Everybody, every major rapper in the fucking world, he done produced for him. Man.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a piano player.
You don't have 5 senses. They lied to you. You have 15. I feel like teaching on tonight. Grab your notepad. Here's the deal. You are a spirit. You live in a body and you have what is known as a soul. Let's start with the weakest of the 3, which are your bodily senses. These are the weakest because they are limited in ability and dogmatic in essence. So let's start there. Your sight, your touch, your smell, your taste, and your hearing. You understand those. Now, let's talk about the soul. Your mind, your will, your emotions, your imaginations, and your affections. These are the components of your soul. Your mind, what it is that you think. Your will, your ability to actually do, that willpower, that drive that you have to go and try, and that drive that you have to go and do specific things. Your emotions, what it is that you feel. Your affections, who it is that you feel those things for. And your imagination, your ability to see it before you can see it. Dig me? That's your soul. Now let's talk about the spirit. Prayer, praise, worship, faith, and meditation. When I pray, I talk to God about my problems. When I praise, I talk to my problems about my God. When I worship, I am giving God his due diligence and I am giving glory to his essence and just who he is and thanking him for everything that he's done and everything that he is doing and everything that he will. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the medium that I use to get me to think and to do specific things in my life. Faith, that's what that is. And meditation. Meditate on the book of the law day and night. That's biblical. Here's the deal. Meditation just means focus. Focus is your selective attention. You never lose focus. Your focus simply shifts. So if you put your focus on this, you cannot simultaneously have your focus on so many other things. That is why meditation is so important. Focus is so important. You don't have 5 senses, you have 15. I'm going to keep it very, very surface level and I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you learned something and I love you. Let's get it. Yay!
Hey, I got something to say. Why the fuck tornadoes don't hit banks, man?
Yeah, right.
Let that shit sink.
He might be onto something. And now that I think about it, they don't hit prisons either.
They damn sure don't hit casinos.
Did any of you guys know that they used to call theme parks pleasure gardens and they were based off the Garden of Eden? And did you know the 2 first amusement parks established in the US were Lake Compounce in 1846 and Cedar Point, which was established in 1870? Being from Ohio, I visited Cedar Point every summer as a kid. But what's even more interesting is what lies underneath these theme parks, something called a ley grid. The description kind of reminded me of Tron, so what is a ley grid?
Insiders claim these parks were designed with precision, engineered layouts based on ancient energy harvesting geometry, a concept known as ley grid amplification. Hidden beneath the parks are alleged emotion siphoning infrastructures, massive underground complexes powered by psychological energy extraction systems.
It reminded me of that episode on Fairly Odd Parents where Timmy and his family go to Adrenoland, which is a theme park on the show located past none other than Area 51. And as Timmy and his friends rush around to find ways to get on rides like Heartstoppers, the parents are taken to Adultland to be rejuvenated.
Oh my gosh, it's a kidless adult paradise!
Hey, that's great. We can use that as our slogan.
Cheers!
And that scene kind of reminded me of the scene in Tron, where it's shown over and over again that they're drinking this blue juice, which is none other than liquid energy, which is harvested naturally from the grid in Tron and used as a celebratory drink after the games.
What's one thing you wish you knew at 21 years old? At 21, I wish I understood that it's not boy falls in love with girl, girl falls in love with boy. It's not girl falls in love with boy, boy falls in love with girl. That doesn't work. The movies are gonna fuck you up. The only thing, the only experience in life you need in the field of romance, right? The only thing that's ever 100% accurate is when she falls in love with you and you realize that you have to stay in love with you. She's only in love with you because she saw that look in your eye that you're in love with you. Now listen, a lot of you guys are gonna immediately flip-flop this on some egalitarian shit and say, oh yeah, even when a girl loves herself, the guy loves her more. That's not how it works. This doesn't go both ways. This is an active male principle versus a passive female principle, right? For a long lasting, genuine burning desire out the right? You might burn her, scold her so much she goes crazy. But you gotta remember, even in your past, if you have experience, if you're an older guy, or if you're a younger guy, don't watch the movies. Watch the real storylines of your friends, families, people around you. The stories that look correct is where you can just see a woman look into a man. Let's say Adam and Eve, right? Eve looks at Adam, and Adam is feeling himself. Adam is doing everything correct in life. He's killing it in life. And he gets a little confident, overconfident, and usually that's where where Eve falls for Adam, right? Now, here's what happens to most of us is Adam, like us, falls in love with her. And then that image that he's in love with of himself, right? Not in love, but, you know, he sees himself up here. Like, I'm an active principal. I can actively take care of her. As soon as he goes lovey-dovey with her, he becomes a passive principal, right? And you can love something until you kill it. You can love your child till it's an obese, can't breathe, getting bullied in school. Love is not, it's not what you've been taught by these fucking liberal hippies, dude, right? You can have too much freedom, and the other facing direction is you can't have too much love. Unity is the opposite. So you need to understand this first of all. Here's the worst part. By the time this video hits you and you say, damn, Zerga, you actually changed my life, you'll probably have fucked up maybe 10, 20 times. And I've been doing this, you know, I've been helping people for a long time now, and I've never gotten an email where someone says, hey, you saved me the trouble of a couple heartbreaks and 10 relationships. And it's always whether they understand what I'm teaching or not, it's always the same thing, that it doesn't hit until you get fucked over a bunch of times. That's why I feel for these young men. I'm like, it's you gotta almost take what I'm saying when it comes to this stuff. You gotta almost take what I'm saying as like almost prophetic, not in a blasphemous way, but this is a spiritual message that yes, she's gonna fall for you when you're busy making money in the gym looking tight. You're looking in the mirror, she's looking at you. The moment you turn to her and start looking at her, it's bad, right? You might have a fun couple of months, but you're as soon as you turn into her, a passive principal, you are fucked, right? Passive means getting fucked. They get fucked. You do not want to get fucked. You do the fucking, correct? So can't stress this enough. I know it sounds like mystical dating advice, but you should be thinking of this archetypally. You should not be thinking of just statistics and red pill, blah, blah. It should be medieval. It should be a storyline in your head, right? You need to, once your knight in shining armor is shiny, you're both looking at the armor. She's looking at it, so are you. You're like, damn, I'm shiny. And she's like, you are so shiny. And she's got her hand on your chest plate. The moment you take that armor off and start looking at her, you're a fucking...
For some reason, this comment triggered a chain of thoughts, which sent me down a rabbit hole, and I found some stuff. Before I get into it, you're right. Real food, real people. Are they mocking us? Anyway, since a hamburger is #1 in America, I started off by looking up all the definitions of ham. And #2, the backs of the thighs, or the thighs and buttocks. He squatted down on his hams. What's really bizarre about that, and maybe I'm batshit crazy, but it's served on something called buns, which is a nickname for buttocks. And then I couldn't help but notice what they look like. I can't be the only one who sees it. Is this more mocking? Aside from that, what's strange is it's said that the term hamburger derived from Hamburg, Germany, while others say it originated in the US. Or it's more mockery. Let's talk about chicken. I get it, the breast, the thighs, the legs, the wings, but fingers? Because chickens don't have fingers. And apparently chicken fingers got their name because they resemble a human finger. However, they don't. Is it more mockery? Also notice how in the movies throughout the years, whenever referring to cannibalism, they always say tastes like chicken. Meant to be funny. Maybe not as funny as you think. Might as well jump over to some symbolism while we're on chicken. I see more double C symbolism in this logo. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe the star placement is a coincidence also. Hard to rule out symbolism considering it has this in it too. which is a symbol I've talked about in a previous post. And since we began with what's in fast food restaurants, how about Arby's having this in their window in our faces?
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe.